Blaha here doing a second cardio session. Knocked out just under an hour earlier. I want to get a little more in, then I'm going to eat my breakfast. I want to go heavier on calories today since I have to bench tomorrow and do my triceps, which are an important muscle. So I want to make sure that I create a nice solid deficit first thing in the morning here. So again, getting a little extra cardio in to make that happen. So again, here's how I'm looking. So again, yeah, I did over an hour total, because again, non-lifting days. So a lot of what I'm doing with this is because it's non-lifting days. I want to get a little more fasted cardio and again, help with fat burning, help with the nutrient partitioning, get all those lovely benefits. And I do all of this at this point streaming because I might as well, right? If I'm going to be out walking and not doing anything else productive other than my cardio, I might as well benefit all my business social medias from it, right? Although my stomach is being rubbed a little bit raw, I got a raw spot from these shorts with the thing rubbing against it, having to adjust that. So hopefully that's doing better by tomorrow. It's just unfortunate it happens. All right, we'll see if we get any views. We had pretty decent viewership in the first one of these earlier. This one's going to be shorter, so there won't be as much time for people to come in, but it is a little bit later. So that might help. Might help get a few people in. Like I said, I don't know how long I want to run it. I want to make sure I get over an hour today. And I think my other one was around 55 minutes total cardio session. So getting a little more in, not a bad idea, right? Even out in the sunlight, the chest separation is showing a little bit, right? This is normally the worst lighting in the world for that, the sunlight. Again, 50-pound vest on. So I think yesterday I did 45 and then 20 minutes, and today I did a 55. So you get past an hour, I don't have to go very far. But we'll see again if we get any decent views, any questions. These take a few minutes to get people in. There's only 3 people so far. And this one may not be long enough to really get substantial views. I guess we'll find out. I'm not going to go to the wooded area because I don't want it to be as long as this morning session was, which I did earlier. So I'm just going to stay on the sidewalks for now and see if we get some questions, some comments. Again, for me, this is about fat burning. My diet at this point is mostly protein and healthy fats. Carbs are pretty low, although lots of vegetables and fiber in there. All right. All right, that's what we do. Restocked on some other stuff. I hadn't been doing any nuts or seeds for a few days. I'm going to work all that back in. I grabbed some flax seeds and some walnuts and other stuff. And I grabbed some salmon. I'm going to try to make myself eat fish for the first time, pretty much in my adult life, because I hate fish. Hello, Coach Wow. You read my message here. Yep, he said first. Of course, I read all the messages here. Okay. Happy to see you live this morning. I'll be honest, I was going for a morning run, but I feel discouraged. Why are you discouraged? Go do your morning run. What's the problem? Right? You need to get up and go do your cardio. You need to set habits and stick to them. Okay, that is the name of the game in fitness. It is about creating those positive habits and maintaining those habits. Hey, that is the key to this whole fitness game. Also, Jackie, if you could toss me a like, since you're posting, give me some actual engagement. Salmon is lovely, a great way to get all your vitamin D. Does it even have vitamin D? Are you sure? Okay. Yeah, I'm not even worried about vitamin D with it. That's like the least of my concerns with the salmon. I'm mostly looking at the healthy fats. and it being a good protein source. Checking into my mental health isn't doing well. Okay. Well, seeing me inspired you, so go do your run. Also, your mental health will improve when you're consistent with your fitness. Okay. I know that for me, lack of training will cause debilitating depression, absolutely debilitating. So, best thing you can do is get your training in. All right. All right. Also, I had pasta yesterday with oxtail. Okay. Well, it sounds like food. Dupree says hello. Well, hello to you also. Again, this is going to be a shorter one because I did 55 minutes earlier. So this is my second cardio session. I just want to burn through a few more calories before I hit that food hard. Right. I have no idea if oxtail, I mean, is it a good source of protein? Sure. I don't know anything about the nutrient composition. It just sounds it's another meat. Right? I've never eaten oxtail personally. I usually eat normal cuts of meat. I don't eat anything exotic like that. I've heard of people eating oxtail. I don't think I've ever actually seen oxtail that I can think of. I tend to go for stuff like steak and chicken, right? Normal stuff. But I mean, if you like something exotic like that, I guess one day of full fasting, healthy. No, I don't think you should ever fast for a full day. That's not beneficial for muscle retention. You still need ultra high protein, and if you don't get your protein in at some point in the day, this is counterproductive. Like I generally recommend um, protein feeding really heavy when you're doing fasting, in fact. So I don't fast more than ever 18 to 20 hours, ever, and then I always eat. Do you consider pasta a cheat meal? I don't know that pasta is a cheat meal. No, it's not really junk, but it's a little more refined than I normally eat most of the time. But I'm pretty strict with what I eat these days. So again, it's just all relative to what you're doing, of how clean your normal diet is. But I mean, if you're carbing heavy, I suppose pasta's fine. I would lean more in the directions though of a whole wheat pasta or chickpea pasta or something, unless you just need the straight carbohydrate calories. And I mean, I have clients and athletes who just straight up need that many calories, and they prefer starchy carbs over fat. So something like that works. It's pretty interchangeable with white rice. So it depends on calorie needs. Are you a high output athlete? It makes sense. Are you training several hours a day? Um, it makes a lot of sense in that context. Good morning, coach. Is unseasoned food a better option for calorie control? Depends on the person, right? It absolutely depends on the person. So I don't think that there's a straightforward answer on that. For some people, it is just because blander, they tend to overeat a bit less, right? So, but again, it's very, very relative. It's very relative. All right, it's the street over here. But some people can't stand unseasoned food. I've started seasoning my meat more. I used to do it bland, but I've been adding a lot more of like garlic and paprika and stuff to mine. And I mean, I put those guacamole sauces on my food. Like you see what my food looks like, right? It's all on social media. Right? I put pictures up of a lot of my meals, my shopping. No, you shouldn't eat butter. Butter is garbage. Butter's not seasoning. Butter is a junk food. Well, what do you mean a replacement for butter? I don't cook with butter, so I don't know what you need a replacement for. Like, I don't understand. Why don't you just eat food? Like, what does butter have to do with anything? Like, that's weird because I've never really cooked with butter. I've tended to be healthy most of my adult life. Like, I don't really understand what you're replacing. Like, just don't use it. Like, that's straightforward. What do you need to replace it? Why don't you just cook without it and not replace it with anything? Does the carnivore turn our blood? Um, no, that's biologically impossible. All right, all right. The biggest issue with the carnivore diet is the lack of fruits and vegetables. That alone makes it probably the single worst diet I could imagine in terms of fad diets long term, for long term. But that's the biggest issue. I don't even have a problem with people eating tons of meat. That's not the problem. It's the fact that they add all this garbage to their diet, right? All the carnivores are junk food eaters. Like, they're just trash garbage eaters. They don't eat steak and eggs. They eat butter and bacon and throw all that on everything and pretend it's healthy, which is insane. And then they skip vegetables. Now, if they chose to eat steak, egg, and vegetables, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But they don't. Okay. All right. So therein lay the problem. Taking out the good stuff that they need for all the health benefits, and then they replace it with garbage like butter. That's just ridiculous. Do you recommend sauna sessions in the stove for alone? Um, However long you need, dude. I think sauna sessions can be good for recovery, right? I don't know that I would recommend a set time, whatever you need and you're comfortable with. As long as you're hydrated, no reason you can't do 20, 30 minutes in a sauna after you train and stuff. I know plenty of people who do that. A lot of people who do that, right? So I've got clients who choose to do that. Um, yeah, carnivore diets for cast not humans. Yeah, absolutely agreed. It's ridiculous. Humans are omnivores. And we know plants are extremely beneficial. Like, the data for that is, it's not just small, it's overwhelming. Um, you know, I'm big on whole foods, omnivorous diets. Do you recommend? Yeah, I recommend lots of them do fasted cardio. I think it's really beneficial. It's absolutely beneficial. I mean, I do it all the time. So if I do it, of course, I recommend it plenty of my clients. Does everyone need to do it? No, but it certainly can be a useful tool. Right? I mean, lots of things I do that not all my clients do. I've got a couple clients who don't deadlift, actually. It's my favorite lift, and I consider it essential just due to their situation. We don't do any conventional pulling. I've got two of them, actually. Um, how's the weather right now? What's the temp? I don't know. I don't know what the temp is right now. Probably in the 60s. Um, and maybe you can see what the weather's like. I mean, I got a camera pointed at the sky. All right. So let me ask you a question, James. What do you think the weather is like where I'm at this exact moment? You more of a winter or summer person? I choose to live in Texas, so a little more of a summer, but I don't know about Texas summers down here. As daily calories are equal, does it matter if you do fasted cardio or not? Yes, Marco, I believe it does. I believe it does matter. Because again, we're coming over to People have way oversimplified the calorie in, calorie out model. They don't seem to understand it at the cellular level of what we're talking about with that. They literally have this idea that your body just burns X calories versus consuming Y, and without thinking about the nuance. Um, all right. Will I get loose skin from cutting from 225 to 170? You might, but would you rather keep the fat? You know, I always tell people that. Would you rather have a small amount of loose skin, or would you rather be fat and out of shape and unhealthy and die young and look unattractive? Like, that's a really easy choice. Okay. Yeah. I don't think that's a difficult choice at all, is it? All right, I'm going to wind this one down. I just wanted a nice extra quick session in. I'm going to head back home. Last week I went to a wedding that I prepared for 2 months only to completely ruin the night. Yeah, James, why'd you do that, dude? Alcohol, man. All right? Alcohol's problematic. It's why I tell people, like, the entire world would actually be better off without alcohol, like just collectively, you know? I'd love to have. Hey, Scott, James, you know I'm extremely anti-alcohol, right? And you know I'm sober. So for you to offer that is really inappropriate. Johnny, the calories in alcohol are the least of the concerns. Yeah, James, I'm going to go ahead and remove you. You don't get to post because you know that I am sober. So that is extremely, extremely inappropriate. All right, that's it. You guys know my position on alcohol. I'm very, very clear. I'm extremely anti-alcohol. Um, and that I'm choosing a life of sobriety. And for you to offer that is extremely inappropriate. In fact, I would say that's definitely morally wrong. All right, what's happening, Coach? You guys know I've talked about it in detail many times. Um, so, all right, guys. I mean, and let's set that aside. Let's assume I never had any personal issues ever. It is one of the most evil scourges on humanity. It's the single most unhealthy thing we consume regularly. And it's an addictive poison. And I've lost multiple people I really care about too, through either their own use or because of the actions of other people drinking. So yeah, I hold a very negative view of it. Like one of my good friends burned alive when hit by a drunk driver. So he literally burned alive. They heard him screaming as he burned people on the scene inside. So because someone choose to drink and drive. So that kind of sums up how I feel about alcohol. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. I'll talk to you next time.